Welcome back to another episode of the Tactician. James Dodd alongside A-League champion Daniel McBreen. Now, Macca, this week we're going to look at Sydney FC. They've got a huge game against Newcastle Jets this weekend in the race for the top six. But we're going to look at what they did against Auckland FC last weekend. They drew 2-2. Crucially, though, Ufuk Talay, from what we've seen this season, given Sydney have conceded quite a fair few goals, the most of the top six sides, he changed things up in a bid to solidify both the defence and the midfield. Let's have a look, shall we, at what they did. Talk us through it.
Well, we'll see here that this is the formation that we saw. They've gone to a 3 at the back, 2 wing-backs go high, and there's your box midfield, and it becomes a 3-4-3. So that means that we've got an extra player at the back, to cover when the ball, when things go wrong, but also we've now got 2 6s constantly here, as well as 2 10s in the middle, which when you have the ball or without the ball, you can overload that area and cause kind of problems. Now, these two are asked to get forward and do an attacking job, but they also got to get back and do their defensive duties as well. Big shift for the wide guys.
So in terms of the pros, shall we? Let's look there first. What is it that Ufuk Talay is trying to achieve in terms of this formation when they're out of possession?
Yep, so without possession, as we see this ball here gets kept on this side, they work really hard. Watch the midfield. They all come across, and we're going to end up seeing 4 players across right on this side of the field, squeezing the space. So anytime an Auckland player gets his head up, he's under pressure. Now, what they really want to do, Auckland, is look at all this space over here. And you'll see these guys in a minute be waving their arms to say, come on, Nick's got to get it out here. But they don't get that opportunity because the press is so good and they're so tight in these spaces. When the ball does finally come out, we're going to see that it's kept on the same side of the field.
And the box, you can see the box there in action as well.
Yeah, exactly right. So now when the ball does come out, it's forced down that side. And you can see these guys saying we want it out here. But they do go forward. But Sydney FC have got the players across. Maybe could have done better there. But look, they're all set up, all in position, and they can deal with it. And then they get the ball, come out because their bodies are around the ball, and then they can come forward again.
So ultimately, Sydney were happy there. I would say Ufuk Talay would have been happy with how they navigated and managed the situation. Auckland have worked that out. What happens when it doesn't go to plan for Sydney FC, as we're going to see here from Auckland?
So like we just highlighted the other side, look at all this space over here. Look at De Vries in all this space. Auckland know 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. Where's the space? So almost without even looking, he knows where it's going to go. So as this plays, watch this ball, takes a touch and then wallop straight to the other side. Now straight away, that means De Vries can go forward. But if we look at Sydney's defence and we pause it there, you can see that they're covered in this area here. They're covered here, and you can see right now Ryan Grant saying someone has to address the ball, and that's going to be me. So as that ball goes forward, he's going to step out and address the ball, and we pause it again. Now, this is the big danger area in behind, and this positioning from Dr. Jesus needs to be a little bit more central.
What should he do? Body-wise, show us what he should do.
So his body shape isn't too bad, except that he's gone too far this way, so now the ball can go in behind him. He wants to be a little bit more central so the ball goes in front, and then he can show him to the sideline. Once this ball now goes in behind, he's in trouble, because now they can get a first-time ball in. They've got the numbers here, not the best ball in, but they fight to get the ball out, and this is what Sydney do so well. They have problems at the back they've had this year, but look at this. Up to Lolly, Segacic, striker, you're 10. You've got another 10 going forward. Here's the winger that we talked about going forward. And Lolly, they take it from almost a chance at one end to having a shot at the other end.
So that is the dichotomy of Sydney FC. But from Ufuk Talay's perspective, Macca, he wants the width and he wants that attacking impetus from Jordan Courtney-Perkins if it is him on the left-hand side and Dr. Jesus on the right. But what happens when they get caught out, as we're going to see in this next clip? What are the dangers of having players that high up in this system?
Well, modern football, we want to play out at the back almost at all costs sometimes. But as we'll see here, when this play comes out, watch the 2 wide guys. So as they've got the ball at the back, these guys, they keep walking higher and higher and higher. They want to try and affect here. The problem can be that when you're playing in this area here and something goes wrong, those distances become so great that they can't get back in time. So as we let this play on here, you'll see that they keep going forward. Look, higher and higher and higher, and Sydney are going to play out from the back. Now, they're both in the opposition half, and it's moving around. It's coming a little closer, but now we're going to see an error. Now watch the reaction time from these two. They've got to get back. They've got to get goal side. Now this side,
wrong side.
So now we get the first chance here. Gets in, gets a shot, and look at the far side there. Not able to get back or didn't react quick enough to get back, whichever way you'd like to look at it, and that can be the problem when you give it away early playing out.
This is Auckland FC's second goal in the game to make it 2-2. This time it's out on the left-hand side, Francis De Vries. What do you dislike? What do you like about what they did and what worked here?
Well, what they did there is they switched the ball one way. They've moved the Sydney midfield across to one side and they've had to go back. Now they're coming out and they're moving the ball back across the other side. So they've moved that midfield around. Holman is in the middle here. He needs to slide across. We talk about sliding across, closing the spaces. If he comes across and slides here, This player is going to address the ball, but he doesn't. So watch what happens to Jordan Courtney-Perkins as that ball gets played central. He thinks, oh, I'm the player who might have to step. And it's 1 metre, and that's all it is. Yep. 1 metre, and Sakai's in behind. Fair play to Auckland. They get plenty of bodies in the box and they get it in the goal. But that crucial little moment of that I've got to go is enough for Sakai to get the time to get the cross in.
So that was the goal that made it 2-2. Let's rewind slightly, shall we, and look at the goals that made it 1-0 and 2-0 to Sydney FC. And in particular, the super sub. He started this game, Adrian Segicic. But whilst he gets the credit for scoring 2 absolute howitzers in this game, the formation and the width of the wing backs, if you like, is key to it. Talk us through how.
Yep, so earlier we saw when Lolly got that chance, the 9, the 10 and the wing back all in play. Now look, here again, high and wide affecting this line. So now when the ball comes forward, because he's high and wide now, he's engaging these defenders here. Now, Segicic's run, he just checked and props into that area there, which gives him a little bit of space here. But because he's so high and so positive in his actions, watch these 3. All 3 are going to go this way for 1 step.
Anticipating a wall pass.
Anticipating the bounce to pass back in. Segicic is going to realise that, and that gives him just enough time and space to open up. Sloppy defending in midfield. And he had one thing on his mind there. I'm getting it on my left foot and I'm putting it in the back of the net. And we've seen him do it so often this year that he's got the confidence and the way he strikes the ball, head over the ball, such venom with the laces, and he does it time and time again.
We saw Adrian Segicic score there. Now talk us through this. This is in the lead up to Adrian Segicic's second, Sydney's second goal. Leo Sennell wins the ball back here. Take us on from there, Macca.
Now, ball breaks down. We talked about earlier when you've got all the bodies around the ball, you've got people close enough to put pressure. Ball breaks free. Centre realises I'm close enough to go and make a challenge here, steps in and wins the ball. And as they win the ball, they've got the ball bounces out. There they are, nice and tight. But sloppy defending really here. He's already banged one in and embarrassed you, but the defenders just stand and watch. They don't go out and put pressure on the ball. And again, almost like he says, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, if you're not going to press me, I'm going to have a shot. Alex Paulson probably thinks he could probably do a little bit better with that save, but you can't allow that much time and space for players like Adrian Segicic.
It will be very interesting then to see if Ufuk Talay sticks or twists with the same formation heading into this massive game against Newcastle Jets at the weekend. The Sky Blues head into it off the back of an exit in the ACL2. All eggs are now in the top 6 basket for Ufuk Talay's Sydney FC come the end of the season.